you ever wondered what the top prop firm traders do to get to where they're at? Worry not, because today we are not only going to talk with one, two, we are actually going to talk with 5 of the top prop firm traders out there. These traders together have made over $4 million in payouts with prop firms, so they know what they are talking about. And today I'm going to get them all to join me, and I'm going to ask, what is your biggest tip to pass a prop firm challenge is? Because that is step 1 of getting funded. And if this video gets to 4,000 likes, then I'll make sure to make a part 2 where I'm going to ask these traders with over $4 million in payouts what their biggest tip to reach a payout is. So let's get this directly started, and let's start with Kyle. Jcap. He has profited over $1.2 million with prop firms. He's currently starting a YouTube channel again, so make sure to subscribe. There's going to be a link in the description. And he made a whole Twitter thread on how he profited already over $1.2 million with prop firms. And so Kyle is one of the top traders. The number 1 with more payouts is actually here in this video too. So let's jump on a call and ask him what his biggest tip is. Okay, so we're here with Kyle, and I just want to ask straight up, what is your biggest tip for passing a prop firm challenge?
Yeah, so in my opinion, when you're trying to pass a prop firm challenge, let's say without failing one, is when you are at your initial balance, depending on if you get a win or a loss, that next trade is going to determine what your next risk is. So the deeper you go in a drawdown, the easier it is to smooth out your equity curve by reducing your risk. So let's say on phase 1, if you want to start out at 1 or 2% risk, if you lose, you cut the risk in half. If you win, you can possibly keep the risk the same or double the risk. So approach the challenge as, where am I in relation to my starting balance? And, you know, based on those next series of trades or next trade, you're going to adjust your risk accordingly. And that's going to help you stay alive in the challenge long enough for you to be able to find those A+ setups and then pass the challenge eventually.
Okay, thank you. And just for people to know, what was your total payout amount?
Yeah, so after I get paid from SFT, it's going to be a little over 1.2 million.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Next up, we have Paladin, one of the co-founders of SFT, Skilled Funded Traders. But before founding SFT, he actually made over $400,000 in payouts. And so let's jump on a call and ask Paladin what his biggest tip is. Directly, straight to the point, Paladin, what is your number 1 tip for traders that want to pass a prop firm challenge?
My number 1 tip would actually be the people who you look up to in this industry, right? Do not copy how they approach their challenges. How you approach a challenge, it all depends on your circumstances. These people you look up to, they probably have so many funded accounts where they'll do a challenge, risk 2-3%, whereas you're using your entire paycheck to do a challenge, right? So for that reason, you have to go very conservative. You have to go a little, maybe 1% or 0.5% risk, something that doesn't make you emotional, right? So my number 1 tip when approaching these challenges is, do not look at the people above you, but look at where you are, your circumstances, and then determine how you want to approach this challenge.
Yeah, that's sick. So money management inside of the prop firms and outside. That's actually a really good tip. Paladin, how many payouts have you done thus far in total?
The last I saw was last month, which was a little over 400K. But this year in 2024, I've already withdrawn about $15,000, and we're only 4 weeks in.
That's great. That's with EU range, you fuck. Next up, we have Andrew NFX. Andrew has currently $6 million of assets under management, and he has been banned basically from all of the firms out there. And now you ask yourselves, why? Because he uses a similar strategy to me of risking 4% and trying to pass in 1, maximum 2 trades or blow the account. But he does it on a way bigger scale. That's why he has $6 million of assets under management, and that's why he's profited almost, or already, let's ask him on the call, if he has already close to $1 million in prop firm payouts. So that's going to be interesting to hear. So let's get into it. Andrew, what is your biggest takeaway for people that want to pass a challenge?
What helped me become a $6 million funded trader was just going very aggressive with challenges. I know a lot of people call it gambling, but if you play it very smart, so let's say you have $1,000 to buy an account, most people just buy 1 challenge and then they blow it, right? Just buy 4 accounts and go risk daily drawdown basically on a high probability setup. So don't just gamble away. Risk 4% on a setup that maybe it's your A+ setup, and you go for a 1 to 2 if that's your usual risk reward. You pass it and then you need 1 more win, basically 1 to 1. On phase 2, you can lower the risk. So usually what I did was 4.5% risk phase 1, And then phase 2, I will go like 2% risk or 2.5%, just so he gives me more trades. But that's why I managed to reach $6 million funding, also because I have a very high win rate. And, you know, I went for multiple accounts, so not just one account.
Okay, that's fair. And have you reached $1 million in payouts yet?
Not yet, but I will calculate everything. I will do a post about it, but I think I'm very, very close. I'll probably hit it within a few months for sure.
Next up, we have Dan Chong, not only a great mentor of mine, but also a great friend of mine. This man, I don't understand, but he constantly is posting on Twitter like 10K a day, like fucking 5K loss. And I'm like, bro, well, how do you get so many setups? He got funded with over $1 million just in 1 month. And he's constantly getting payouts from prop firms, which you can check in his YouTube channel or his Twitter, which both are going to be linked in the description. So let's jump on a call with Dan and ask him what his #1 tip is. Being straight to the point, Dan, what is your #1 tip to pass a prop firm challenge?
Number one tip is two things. Number one, there's proof of concept and confidence. Proof of concept is ultimately understanding that the strategy that you have, or the edge that you have, actually works, right? Like, that's so important. You can't go and trade your account with actually the proof of concept. So that comes with back testing, sample testing, understanding your psychology, understanding yourself, and understanding that the whole thing will pan itself out over a period of time. Because if you don't have any of that, no matter what you do, it won't work, right? Because if you don't have a proper strategy, you can get lucky once. And this is actually one of the worst things that can happen in trading, is to taste the success. By getting lucky, trading a strategy that doesn't even work, but you just got lucky with those wins, got a payout, and you think it works, and then you spend the next 5 years doing the same shit and not getting results because you don't actually have the proof of concept. So the proof of concept is key over a period of time. So that's number one. Then number two is confidence. And confidence is actually understanding with an unwavering mindset that the work that I put in, the proof of concept and all that work I put in works, and that I have to stick to that. Because it's simple. Everyone who's watching this, or anyone who's traded for a period of time, has gone through a losing streak. Guess what happens in your losing streak? Your confidence goes. What happens in drawdown? Your confidence goes. But the question is, okay, let's take a step back. Why? Like, why is your confidence wavering? Just because there's a negative balance on there, just because you've lost a trade. But isn't that supposed to be part of the process? Isn't that actually part of the proof of concept? Haven't you gone through your back testing and your sample testing and understood that, okay, cool, I can actually have a 6 or 8 trading period losses, that I just have to draw back the risk as soon as I've had 4 or more, right? So then if I have 4 losses, I know that if I do go into this period, I'm going to dynamic risk and take risk off of the table and drop it down, so that if I do go into, or if I do go further into drawdown, the damage is minimal. And then when I call back up and when I'm in break even, then I can put the risk back on and size it back up. So it's incredibly important to have these two things. Number one, the proof of concept, understanding that the edge works over a period of time, that your strategy works, you've got a team and you've got people and you're developing it and you're seeing the proof of it. And then have number two is the confidence to understand that you will be successful and you will fucking win.
Absolutely love that. And then, just for reference for the people that are watching, how much in payouts have you done?
Probably like 250k, something like that. And
Yeah,
then I think now, actually, in my total career of trading, I've done 750k or 740k. So this year I'll break a whole $1 million in total in terms of like actual profits from the markets. And this year I want to try and hit $500,000 from payouts.
Absolutely love that. Last but not least, we have the #1 prop firm trader in terms of payouts. He has also been banned basically from a lot of firms because what he does is way too risky for firms, and he has made over $2 million with prop firm. And yes, we are talking payouts. So right now, Pasquale is #1 trader with all of these prop firms in terms of payouts. And so let's ask him what his #1 tip is. Okay, so right now we are with Pasquale, the #1 trader with prop firms, which has racked up over $2 million in payouts. Is it 2 million, 2.5?
A bit more than 2.
That's
wild.
wild. So what is your #1 advice for traders to pass prop firm challenges?
I think the first thing is a question. Do you actually know what's going on? Do you know the rules? Do you know the trading style? Do you know what does it take to take this challenge? You don't have to have like a super set out plan, trading plan, because anything can work. If you want to do pure technical, it will work. If you want to do like discretionary, if it will work. Anything can work in trading. I think most traders have no patience. They want to pass a challenge in a day or two, which is possible, but it's not the right way to do. You have to realize it's more of a a career choice. You have to treat it as if you will do this for the next 2, 3, 5 years, and not the get rich quick scheme, because it's not working. So patience is a big thing. Take it slowly. If it takes you 30 days, a month, 2 months, a half a year, it doesn't really matter, because in the end there's a funded account and there's actual money behind, and a big opportunity for you. Because of that, because they want to pass quickly, a lot of people over leverage and put up way too large positions, try to max send it on a 20 lot, 30 lots, and try to pass it in one trade. But what are the chances? There are no shortcuts in this business. And that's coming back to the having a plan, not just throw money in, throw a trade in and hope for the best. I really like to take a step back. It also helps you with the mental game, because this is a big part of trading. Keep mentally stable through everything. And if you take the 1 hour chart, 4 hour chart, daily chart, the movements are way slower. You have time for yourself. And I think that's a good approach, like to take it slowly. The final point I'd say is stay disciplined, because discipline is probably the most important for everybody, because you can't get caught up in FOMO, greed, fear. It's just doesn't work. It's the common mistake that 99% of all traders have. You have to stay calm under pressure, whether it's drawdown or winnings.
Yeah. That is your number one skill. When you're running like 1 million and you're like, oh, I'll let this run to 1.2. You get no emotion on running profits or running drawdown, because again, it comes down to confidence too, which is very important. This is basically it. A video packed full of information. And don't forget, if this video gets to 4,000 likes, then I will make sure to do a part 2 where I ask all of these traders again that have made over $4 million in payouts what their number one tip to get a payout is. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a comment with your favorite takeaways of this video. And if you do, you are in for a 5 challenge account giveaway. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week. Peace.